Welcome back, Scouts. Today we're playing some Battlefield 6. Now, besides just showing off a sick kill montage to you guys, I wanted to talk about this game because I grew up playing Battlefield my whole life. I remember sinking countless hours into Battlefield 2 when I was a teenager, and that game still has some of my favorite maps in the whole franchise, such as Sharkey Peninsula or Strike at Karkand. Whether set in the past, present, or future, a real conflict or a fictional one, Battlefield has continued to enthrall the world now for the better part of 3 decades. And I'll admit, along the way, some of those games were missteps in my opinion. But thankfully, Battlefield 6, for the most part, is a true return to form for me. I haven't had this much fun with Battlefield in years. What exactly is it about these games that has always been so special? It's hard for me to put my finger on. In some ways, it very much is just a standard arcadey arena shooter just like Call of Duty. And at the same time, Battlefield plays nothing like Call of Duty. And over the years, I've watched the games change drastically. Back in Battlefield 2, they used to have one player be the commander, and they got to give orders to squad leaders on a little top-down map like an RTS. And back then, the game had 7 different classes you could play as. However, over time, the franchise carved it down into just 4 classes: the Assault, Medic, Engineer, and Recon. And the gadgets have even changed too. Nowadays, you have an ammo bag that also heals your teammates, but the Medibag and ammo bag used to be 2 separate bags for 2 separate classes. Classes play a real role in balancing the battle. If there's too many tanks, you can get more engineers to blow them up. If the enemy team has too many snipers, you can switch over to recon and you can help counter snipe. You could just play medic for a while if you wanted and just heal your teammates or revive them. Or maybe you're the type who prefers to get into the vehicles and dominate the map in a tank or a jet. I've never been great at flying them myself, but I'd hate to be on a team versus a really talented pilot. There ain't nowhere for your ass to hide at that point. The scale of the battle in these games creates a grander sense of war. You really fear pushing too far into enemy lines because you're walking right into open lines of sight from every angle. It forces you to respect positioning in a way that you're often not forced to in Call of Duty. You have to really rely on cover and smart teamwork to push forward. Every part of your team is an integral unit that needs to work together to push through the enemy forces. Your tanks need to keep pressure on the enemy sightlines without exposing themselves too much. The engineers need to make sure the tanks stay alive. And let me tell you, I have an absolute blast sometimes just playing the engineer. I'll spend a whole game sometimes just repairing tanks and making sure that our vehicles can continue their pressure on the enemy forces. But other times I get bored of that and I need to switch over to medic for a while to help keep my teammates alive. And other times, I'm just running and gunning with an SMG. There's never a shortage of ways to be valuable to your team in Battlefield. I love that after decades of playing this game, I'm still able to appreciate all the little things that made me fall in love in the first place. Map design is exciting and filled with destructible environments. As you play, you unlock tons of exciting gadgets to tinker around with, like recon drones, C4, mines, or incendiaries. And with this iteration, they've taken everything that worked about classic Battlefield, and they've even decided to add in a Battle Royale mode to try to go head-to-head with the Warzone community for some reason. And for the most part, I think that worked. I think RedSec is really fun. I've played quite a bit with Ron, and it's really interesting that they made tanks work in a Battle Royale while still making them feel thoughtful and well-balanced. And the Gauntlet mode that they added, where you can play different arcadey modes in a Gauntlet series of challenges to see which team comes out on top, might be one of the most fun modes that has ever existed in Battlefield. And you can get that Gauntlet mode bundled with RedSec right now for the low price of $3.99. You don't even have to buy the full game to play that. So if you haven't checked it out yet, I can't recommend Battlefield 6 enough. Get out there and have a grand old time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one, Scouts.